Today, I want to talk to you about a fever. A lot of times when you have kids, you start to worry about fevers more than ever before. Your baby spikes something 102, 103 degrees, and you think they're sick. Well, I inherently don't like to think in that way or that perspective. And I don't because I recognize that in this moment, while it may seem out of balance, abnormal, you're coughing, sneezing, achy, stuffy head, so you can't rest kind of stuff, right? But that's all the expression of the immune system. So I like to say that I'm expressing health. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One is that if I think of it from that perspective, what I recognize is that the adaptation I'm currently exhibiting, an elevated temperature, is the expression of the immune system. When I say the expression of the immune system, what's actually happening internally, as you know, is the body's temperature is increasing to a point where viral loads that are affecting you, that are causing an immune response, can be subdued, or bacterial loads also can get eradicated from the body. So some interesting things that you should know. A fever of about 102 can oftentimes kill almost any viral infection that's affecting somebody. So when you let that fever run its course, what's actually happening is you start coughing and sneezing to expel waste. You drive mucus production to trap foreign invaders from getting in the body, and suppressing all of those things, while you may feel good, is suppressing the normal immune function. Also, in this suppressive state, your body doesn't develop something really important. They're called mirror cells. And these mirror cells are what allow your body to handle similar infections without having a symptomatic expression, thus having a more robust immune system. So, it's funny because people will say, like, I get sick all the time, and I can honestly tell you, I haven't missed a day of work in my entire career, not because of luck, but because when I have a fever or something, I rest for a little bit of time. But I mean, that might be 1 or 2 days in the last 6 or 7 years. Because I'm allowing my body to continually grow and develop. I'm allowing my immune system to do its work. I'm allowing the body to develop mirror cells so that down the road, my immune system is more robust. So let's talk about something else that's really important. Bacterial infections. Oftentimes you'll go to the doctor, they'll check you for bacteria, right? They'll swab you and they'll have to culture it to make sure that there is a bacterial profile. But before that, they already give you antibiotics, typically, right? You go home with a script even before we can prove that you have a bacterial infection. Well, bacterial infections in humans oftentimes can't survive in an environment of about 102 to 104 degrees. Thus, when you spike those high fevers that I know are uncomfortable, it's because there's something wrong where your body needs to rebalance its gut microbiome. And so 104-degree fever, while uncomfortable, actually is serving a great purpose. Now, what does the guidelines actually say on fevers? Because I know what you're thinking out there. Well, I'm scared. I don't want to have my child have a fever like this. Well, the guidelines say a day-long fever of 104 degrees is something to discuss. If you have a high fever, give a call, let people know, just if you need to feel more at ease. But if it goes on longer than an entire 24-hour period, that's something to be concerned about. And in an adult, if that sustains for 2 or 3 days, that's something to be concerned about. But getting a fever that high is actually normal immune function. So this is why I go back to what I said in the beginning, that I'm expressing health. I'm expressing my health potential. And while it's uncomfortable, I would rather develop and grow. And in most times when you do something uncomfortable, it's where growth happens. It's the same thing for the immune system. So maybe if you're struggling, if you're constantly ill, the next time you go to reach for something to take away your symptoms, you ask yourself, am I suppressing the immune function? Am I suppressing the symptoms? Or am I encouraging my immune response? Am I encouraging better health? Any questions? Let me know. I love to do these things. I love to help you get to kind of reframe the way you think about health, because as a chiropractor since 1895, our whole philosophy has really been to trust that the innate wisdom and intelligence of the body knows what it's doing best. When we see changes, it's probably an adaptation, not a disease process. right? If your back is starting to hurt or you see inflammation after a hard day's work, well, there's an indicator light telling you should take it a little bit easy. And also that inflammation that, oh, by the way, is uncomfortable is the healing mechanism in that sense too. It's the body bringing nutrients, blood flow to help heal the damage. And so while someone will take a Tylenol to feel better, to take away the symptoms, I ask myself, am I allowing the body to express its full potential to heal? And in order to do that, you need to allow the inflammatory process to take hold. Is it uncomfortable? Sure, but it's the way that the body works. So maybe it's time to take a different perspective. If you're sick and tired, being sick and tired, if you're looking for something that's really refreshing, easy, a way to, talk about this with your family, an approach to take your kids to their next level in health and help them systematically integrate really simple things in their mindset so that they can, grow and grow up in a different framework, not always relying on medications or supplements or everything else to avoid symptoms or to avoid sickness, but want to instead take a different approach, build their health, create a more vibrant health profile, then give us a shot. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to sit down. This is what we do in my office. Most of the education that you'll hear from me is a little bit different than you've probably heard before. And I'll never tell you what to do. I'll just always provide some data, some good questions to help you consider the way you've approached your health thus far.